Call 0755 331318. Hurricane Academy. The future is here. HK Pharmaceutical Center ni nyagitari gutumika chinjira ciekerero kumurika ebimo biao na kumanya oburoire nigo babwata mariogo yemete arosirie n'obumanyi obunene akorwa chinse cia isiko bunere ya Hong Kong, USA, Malaysia na United Kingdom. Nigo babwata mariogo y'abana nabo igo ay'abantu abanene ngorwaria bara maroire buna diabetes, high blood pressure, chinengo gosa arthritis, cancer, chinyigo, obogomba, low libido asaba sacha na yanda manke.
Inche no manyagitari iri nikema obangi korwa senyagitari ya HK International Herbal Center sumuchuito bosongo na inde mari marwaira ali tukubwenya na ya tukurukanga lifestyle diseases use chronic diseases amarwaira ali agoso asumubere kwanyoranga ekerobo mubwasoire nigo bokwarigania marwaira amange kwanyoranga umubiri usalikire na inde twakonyira abantu abange kuri umwaka 2011 na inde nigo tubwate chi machine chikorigereria umubiri w'omugima ebimo byao byonsi ipi biritokonyora byasoire gutwara umuchando na inde tubwata mariogo na mariogo aya igaitu nigara yemete na inde turuseti chinse chisiko ao na inde nigara mariogo arosiri no umanyi bwa iguru mono ayo akonyara kurusia amarwaira yaboniga kurwasa umubiri itu yani bunabona umurigereria ayande niga gusibia manyinga ayo itayo umubiri arusia amafuta ali amabeto kurukanga cholesterol ali akogoteye meki yagera amarwaira na gotonyora mariogo ande nigo tokurusia se mu Hong Kong eyere ni China ayande nkurustora sensemo ya India na ayande nkurustora sensemo ya South Africa na ayande na ayita Kenya agaiga bali no kuganya wakonyora imirimo bayiche senyagitari yaitu banyora maegerio egere tubwatera naso bwamo obweni abantu baitu gusi nonya nisiko yagusi
asamanke bakere simya se namba 0717176383 gose obatarire memo chobosongo ange nesteji echigari. HK Pharmaceutical Center obobwenia oraigene.
Etaya TV Oborabu Wagusi.
Dema naendo mwanche murigereria Etaya TV asomoro Etaya breakfast show na twagotebia wakili Itasha fika ndani ya studio. He really keeps time, doesn't he? Ekiagera rende achire tokwane mangena abira tatekiagera Kenya na tokwana ko rubona mpaka Margoba ntoko nyarago mangana agendrete na mange igera toire a full 1 year to 2 years okora mangana license ya Kenya. That's why toko rigereria make asobwango egerende amanya guchiko genda simirimo yae yakira lituko to wera linga mpiamo ni kiagera kira studio mono torara arigereria ali akoregete lituko ligoro close to 27 counties since ya Kenya. They were actively participating asamangana yokorobekana kolera na kuinyora magima ya abasai bali basirite magima abo June last year 2024 ekeroba ali korobekana kwa mererie finance bill ya ya 2024 kurende mangana ndetarenge tobauti tukoli igoro asichinsemo bangwa namba sireta magima baroba kwete matu yamona kwete matu abandi bakwete ulikalau molo nakuru mangana makongusa naro tokuligererianga machikoki awena tokuligereriwa ekero okwandamana kule ekiagera eyune katibe tabana inchiri baganga nabo mokorobekana nabo mokorera nabo mogwa keriogi mpaka muigugwe kuri nimo kubwate machika abira atatu ine the protesters usa babakorobeka ningo kero kende bakubuna machiko abanyanyimbo igo bakubuna richiko asoko bwato kembunda macho kubwato kembunda is not something easy na tukuliria simambe yabona na wakili Wilkins Ochoki ikire studio botamba erifai as my learned friend kiagera na lani kutoka kwake vitu nyingi sana, so akinikubalia I can always call him my learned friend. How are you, my learned friend?
I'm doing good. Nagokire sana kuika Etaya TV.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
Ndio korolekana.
Kuveterelia.
You are ready for work.
You are kali haso. Mbuye kero moda chirata nyoro mwakilo eka representable so ego kito una just like you.
Thank you. Thank you so very much.
Asante.
Karibu tuwa korete iga. I think was it early this year or last year?
I think early this year.
Early this year. Yeah. Karibu sana wakili and feel at home. But all is not well. Yana lito chagete by the na ukwaneleleta so that we save time.
All is not well, Nekemaine.
Yes.
Because as you know very well, last year on 25th of June, ndo wabate those Gen Z demonstrations, diliba achite baka parliament. Somehow, ndo maide unayabete, baba soile broad-based government, abantu bate bread-based, blood-based, no arime. I think for some reason, the president expected inga baba kare serikali bintu bya bere buya. Igoro bone kamanya kwa igoro. Choma de no de kisiga. Azichi county jiri ninde shuanga kisi no ere ya maya because kende yo ya kole kanete.
Yes.
Street yeri yon spirit ko ka hospital road gari njare ngono nyana ya mo igoro. Naenda ubono kisi. You can imagine Nairobi because in Twaroche una yarenge.
Yeah, so
to some extent.
Yes.
Because the leaders were back organizing
Yes.
This was just spontaneous. Abantu Timados and Gen Z was B just on social media we organized it.
Yes.
So it was one, I can say, huge success on the part of the protesters.
Thank you so much from that opening statement. Wakili, akarakuwari kuligiria, manabana nakoregete Kisi, manabana nakoregete Nyeri, manabana nakoregete Nakuru, manabana nakoregete some good number of counties.
Mira nakoregete.
Anyesiri mira nakoregete. But mandamana renge Nairobi CBD.
Yes.
If you watched your television so well.
I did.
Of young kubika from all parts, even Kisi we were yo ngoro kibaringi. But Nairobi it was very different to Wakili. Kwaro jena na Marioki all over. What was different from Nairobi CBD? Ekara mandamana yo na araringi same in other counties.
You know, Koru last time tuaro cha mandamana araringi last week na gunsi bagacha babuate nini. So Nairobi is always the center. Na inakwaroche even from Muisonde media nko highlight yarenge nga abantu ngo banga barenge nga demonstrations injiwa Nairobi because yebale batanga State House bakogeta abonde bwensi na bakobwa. And I think that is why tuwaroche nga Nairobi yarenga manga kubwa
other parts
nonyangusi lakini nonyangusiga narenge kitiaga sintu wali etesa njiarude tu sana.
What makes police even to use the bullets? Because ngakirichi koligote baso kwandamana wakili turachangira wao
tuchakiro kwandamana na indekero monto nanchiranete onye Raila ntwaroche muisonde natabetenga demonstrators babwate haki yo kwandamana. And the constitution is very well covers it very well. Again to gyuko weneta okora likaroma tabasigalingo tabalenga this demonstration is illegal. Sara njena yetu tutake ko organize maandamano turangilia abantu in support of it haya busekende gionsi even tugiuka tuwenda okora no notify abasigari. Now we are going to have a demonstration on 26th of June in Sagete Kasegete turueta haya kurunyamataro tutirimbuke tuende daraja 2 tugende town. So that they can see abasigari no go offer security no go protect your mali bose life unaturate so that the only role ya abasigari nailing but when the two cover notified ba offer protection egasi ya bon protection yok amangana ngayo tabanga demonstration ye telingi ya nini ekatiba ne kanete eba kwenete go tebeku ba offer protection michando ya abasigari baito se chini ngutumeka bale bobe na ndo kwarorere nonye you know pribuna ya kunya kwa baiga mbanya ku understand nganto bwate katibenye eko allow demonstrations nonye goro kisigari naroche abo murabari kwandamana bakite capital roundabout igari bagatenena abasigari bamanya gocha babeka bachakuruta tuchitiya gasi boseko mbanya ku understanding kero mundale peaceful
police
bale go disperse abantu
but this police abagotom they have their bosses so between the police abagocha gotom and their leaders abateneri baba who doesn't understand how the constitution says
bagotabanga politics yekaro ya chire ekarole in power okwebe binte ebingesa utaete tugo preserve your power inde kibona kigako because one muntu torigereri buna Murkomen Murkomen is the CS for Interior Security na kabeire studio buneye buna toreka and he used to be a big proponent ya freedom ya expression na rights jama one kara so ire in power umuntu akoga noncho kana ndo begente kenga
what happens really
ayo rante binayo korro wata wana siasa
because what happens
that is what happens but abasigari baito need to be what's so migu bamanyanga chinguru chibago tumye na ndo kwarore lately kero musigari agosire nere bwiko kwirukoti obekume osomerwa mashtaka orali no bond nainde so tima I think batali ku understanding some of these orders echire illegal orders
wakili aromonto nywete katiba intungo nyako nyitole pole following your footsteps and other abantu momanyete lichiko ekarona aligereire there's so many articles chikoba batali kubwati kuna chigoteba. For example, the katiba tells us wakili nga kiro mo Kenya na bwate obosi boli no boene bwokoewa equal protection yani obulendi yani ondeta yobwate nga na bwate obulendi obane nata kiro to obulendi boliga ntugwene tolendu twense under this same law. But kwanyoranga it is not. Kwanyora it is not. Inki mwana ndakora inki abana bakora sirwa. If we have the same equal rights to protection.
Because we have equal rights. That one is without doubt. Umusigari, of course, not justified go to mere force. But under exceptional circumstances, ekero konyorango bogima bomuntu ora at risk. Tonyore boseno bwae bosabantu bande. But igabo no yekerengo abasigari baito bale asegesongo kerito korokanga trigger happy. Akoboka tubosaiko utaka otame training area kolenge bunduki kweli ngokolere gasi and unfortunately abantu ba lose life. So that amagosa kuna nateba. Na ya basigari baito batali trained buya bosonye kibali trained buya batali ko understand ngamba wenete kulinda abantu baba that freedom your way express buna bono igoro yale remembrance they remember the heroes that basirete
wani bakurwanira oboene bwa Kenya ngomesige ne mengi mukobekera ba Kenya whatever you said wakili it may be true and but the kora pima warangende ngo barakera because you remember the mongwano yore ICU right now fighting for his life. We don't know whether he's alive or whether he's dead, but he's in the hospital. You've seen those clips. What really happened? And what more evidence do court needs?
Onye Iran twarenge ose chiso chiri Arab ango montasi ubone Kenya tu atemede nga kero montabwa te haki yokwewekana. That is now the biggest problem. Because
it's okay.
A video nero kabisa
it shows
una shoot it
how he did it.
Shoot.
What more evidence do the judges need?
Bono mai the process asomerwa mashtaka ache aeleze nganki kiarenge.
And maybe you will say no.
Of course.
You will say I'm not guilty.
Alisara bwanchirane for murder bwanchirane ogo sibu life also be hanged igari to death. Nonyendo wati death sentence elitogo implementing abantu konyakonga to Kenya. But you don't plead guilty. Ekino nyeni chana bango so amya abantu baitoga no kora magosa buno musigari oli ekero kogenda court. You don't plead guilty. You know there's a lot that happens in between. to what exceptions na ndesa china ke abantu bago chibata ranga ba wakili nge mo tete abantu baitiraba to komanyange kyarbe do mumrori no wate bintu to koroka temporary insanity of course I really was not provoked at all so tiga again that it's not proper in law kugenda to admit
to say
I know that you know admit you no talk red-handed na mobeke tv montanjira nenga ana kolete gego ikakoti always yabakana because of the consequences so antigayo montatu is day in court.
But I thinking abono obwena buyo igobwa
but kelio maite inkina kebana getaba gochi ale gosipo but let him just have his day in court. Kenya ntu ajeza to adapt systems chiri chiabasongo ase nga paka kiro monta we is opportunity in court that is it is right you
okay it is 1 year down the line wa akili Korwa Jensi gazeti ya leo they were 16 number anyway bali basirite magimao na abanda up to now batamanyiri asibali whether alive or dead so and the constitution tells us we're killing tero monta ko bwatwa sa ko arrested ni na bwa the right anyoro monta mo represent na bwa the right akire mpaka aikiwiki kambira andaka within 24 hours atabigu a reason na denki yakora. But what will you tell umeboli olia omwana yabolete up to now akili 1 year down the line?
Sare karokora Kenya yabona ila there is a lot of bitterness. A president yet of course mbale tutamu supported but naturally tuna majority but you already the kind of bitterness abantu babwata towards him ogenda na post kende gyonsi on social media yeto chi comment go chise chire chimbe so that he is extremely unpopular maybe ndako vera unpopular maybe intebe byakolekanireka 16 bali tumanyete sara abantu mbale chi family kitabwati access to media story cyabo kitanya ko bari reported abana babo basirete and you know abakenya mbamanyete binte bigokolekana na individual to so that is why abantu babwato borro buno babwato banaika na inde ekarokora abantu tubakuyimuka busayigo kero umuntu ayimugitaro setago tabanga kende
tokole nubono
naro cyo mutanda abana bande bakwebekera paka ji program cyabo cyamatanga ngokunde mama
okay kwenda kwirwa
nare pakoli kanga tubati naro le mortician mocheri omutanda njombe kasegete abana abantu barure
they want to stand for
so that obururumbule tu abakenya babwate utanyale go explain because ubugima bwakongire nebintu mbirigo koruya
does it mean our leaders are not seeing, the president is not seeing, all these CSs are not seeing balibale chidoka chabo chire directly affected because the president here comes wakili otebanga mangana abductions to stop abana baliba beta abducted, they have returned back to their families. You are saying on TV, does it mean our leaders doesn't know?
The problem, Sarah, because even as a president, and I sympathize na William Ruto, manage interview, tago chaga kumanyanga kikegendrete kirasi kuraso muntu taliero koteba but he takes the ultimate responsibility nere na bwata abantu baye I think those are the people that went out about what amakosa nkora rigijingo cyaro tebanza chinde na maite ekyagote there is a squad ero city ya Kalenjin subtribe or Nandi subtribe ego deal na these abductions killings and out ango juango was lucky ngera at least na manyikane tasagenda gochi abantu banke sana basirire so that the president ne gwena da komanya maybe but nere bono go take responsibility but ekero to kuligereri ita kunyara ko bakera sechinga kichonspi noro chito goteba chipara nere health nere housing ye nere kende ko ba nere so that he needs to organize because Vagotabanga is a hands-on man so we will blame him squarely kende gyonsi gako
What next now, Wakili? After this, Wantumba Sirida around the 8, Kenya National Human Rights Commission.
Yes.
Walisema watu 8 tena wameuliwa. So pia ikifika next year we will be remembering 2024, 2025 na hiyo wakati. So it has become a norm. So what will happen from now?
Because these demonstrations ekarotokuligereri abantu abange sana mbasokete chinamba chiri chinyinge nainde last year a demonstration ure enero ya shoketi William Ruto paka agacha koleta broad based government.
Yes,
wono iganinde ne kemaina they are going to be changes because wono ngo chiale go ikaransa kuminga kera lituko kera senko genda ngo tebinda abakenya na akonyire dola mafuta chirense zino boyo useninki ngo endale na ere bolinga inki abakenya batwarerete ubororo buno bakwate igo nera asale tarairi ngo aroje for the first time unaroje ebicha gidasale ngamatanga igo nanya korre president ge ukwana nesimi paka nera cheta akabwate esimi ale ukwana mighty yarenge that tells you saranga imichando nerororo nonye nera tarairi asale na kumetinga nkike kiabete ngoyore behind these demonstrations nando kwarorere ondo bwensi nonye njuzi umwana narori obegete program ngaki abantu bakwanda state house bado nabeta abducted nonye muisonde abantu babeta abducted so unkobere bobe and I hope togo saberense yeito because ndota itoka kuna Somalia kuna chinse chirichinde kitabwati peace tutwaro molembe
as much as togo sabatutwaro molembe Wakili as much as korobekana kore within the law na korobekana ugo tebete na kiabantu wenete we conduct but what we are seeing is totally different. There must be people amaenaba korobekana kulilia haki. But I can say others igo bagocha but distract. You see what happened yesterday? A police station igosambwa chigali chigosambwa abantu bago break into other people's businesses collude and bagoliringe eye ne obisi umuraigete let us burn it down. So what are some of the don'ts the demonstrators na baroba when let go take into consideration ntokora destruction of property na inde kibono how is it going to be accounted for this destruction because uliona wengine wakilia pale
because sare gendo yakwa demonstrators barobo they'll always be peaceful they abantu baraba bago chibacha noroje ekarakorora kuna bono tutwebedenge court kikuyu ya Sambiro Sendios office valitali demonstrators abana siasa they'll always take advantage na noroje a system yeto ya politics inga abana baita bange mbaligasi it's so easy umuntu gotema ko organize chigunzi ngwebete ngangoro sibale ngose ne t-shirt chire branded ya Marieta rivals so that varina abantu batabwati niyangia bago chibacha bachaka ko take advantage ya demonstrations chirichire lawful basoime basali egekwere ande toko andonsi nogenda nonyene kanisa sabantu bagotera usande onenaro gotera utali gotera una gotera kole so that even demonstrations na kuchirego so that the genuine demonstrators na inde bara abange na bwa abange but they'll always be abantu abande bago take advantage and ikina kikiabete igoro and politicians ngotema bale always take advantage of any situation na inde I'll lay blame asebale ngana ubaya koenda babange bintebe birikoro ko bayigolioka ngabona umuntu acha demonstrators are very very peaceful.
All right. And by the way, what can you say about comments cheerleaders, some of the leaders ahead of this maandamano? Some of them were saying like ni kama wanataka kutishia, wanasema bring it on this time round. Tulisoma gazeti, uliona some of the members of parliament, some of the allies to President William Ruto yani nchira mbaliko taibana bana ki kumokoro bekana just do it in a good manner. They are like nabaruwa kubatenga jaribu
That is the intolerance in Kenya.
Yes.
Elias leaders take even they be very, very personal. Ngabone demonstration ya kerere abantu bagotama we exercise rights jabo. Nko rolling demonstrations, especially in the first world. Wegunga Europe, Switzerland, wapi. Okonyoro muntu uchumi ororo nabasigari babere batatu n'abantu baroro is almost 200-300,000. Nkwaro chibabo kamket osoro mintoga nabegetu nation David Indi. I think those are just as a sycophants with president. Ngabali bago chibasoka bate banga bono president na chire na aramira abantu na onyira abantu ile tu abo bago sali ebintu actually. Kuna bono kamketi yago chagotanga nkoirara abantu abapokot Nairobi. Those are the kind of people bago sali president. Nende gokora no no muranale na rocho itokuru gusiga before the day before ochieto bwate chinungu agakwe bicha agashanga mambingo protect yale biashara. Those are the kind of people bago chibasaliri twanyine president. So that tekero muntu akule nebanga no musigari olenge rog otamanye tegenda okora. One of the blame lies squarely as a president because I binta abantu babo baje bagote.
All right.
Na inde isikose ekero kurigeria abantu be president nkwaro chi WhatsApp group chi message nchi asogete na bale kubanga bali n'abantu baye bali mbakubanga igo unless kibamanyite nge president nere frustrated na demonstrations ne mipange yagendrete ngorole no nyana basani ababaye babo sudi which bali baboli nkibono president yeto yabakorere because they don't understand nki abantu pagache but yabantu bono yaikire kende gyonse okora sara abakenye bamanyite the level of scrutiny bono igero ere igoro mono bono Gen Z abe bakonyara konyora unlike us ndu bali banda banenake tokwenda twakirego twaganya twabete trained go obey abana babaito bono iga will bakonyora kende gyonse no those private contracts nini okora oboibi so those are things the viresco.
All right. Thank you so much, Wakili Wilkins Ochoki, from the Advocate of the High Court of Kenya. To analyze what is really happening around the country. Things are not okay. Intombiribu yamonoigo mangana demonstrations kangonya ndiriakoba peaceful demonstrations kero montoira na muabo kalibya na ndimambi baranga ibakora likochi kangambu yangantoliga but now we are here kora some of the gaps chire kora some of the ndobitaliko genda boronge from where I sit ngakibonera roche Kenya yere and it is evident nga Kenya through chiasale alibya people are tired abantu barosire kubate komenta kwaho kuboli kwaho naboko tunyara wetera 0735333000 Facebook no tari live ndoche Victor Mondo no ali kabisa masolibego susukuru na Nakuru City abatanga Nakuru sasa ndio ilikuwa imechacha. Just as balozi wa Nyanchonole anasema kwa Nyanchonole juu milimani. Asante Eriko Soro no aliko Kiumbu, Teresa Kemtono aliko Karatina, masolibego asante tuwakorode. Felicia Saturday akoteba, can private properties be picketed or are protests only limited to public places, Wakil? Can private properties be picketed or are protests only limited to public places, Wakil?
This one really because picketing is like demonstrations. I believe can there be demonstrations on private property or something like that? As long as monyeno yo atalikoba harmed wasaiberu wasekendekebe, there is absolutely no problem at all because it's a chinde, there's little distinction between private and public property because it's a chinde konyarolenga. Eviti nini they are in open spaces to kunyara go distinguish ngobwate property key amagosa to aguchiabekera abantu bakogenda bayibe ibintu byabande bose basali the private properties abantu bayimokichi laptop na bakimokichi simi chiange bikoroto abuno abantu bago draw the line but I will always defend the genuine demonstrators because talibaro bako iba bintu talibaro bako kolege. Yes. Okay, in other countries, okorora policemen are ahead of the protesters. Are easy chinse mechi
and they are from the back, escorting them. Because I believe mbaire tebagata watuta pita barabara fulani. Nekerenga kiwo chiko report is to be given protection. Bora wanda bakora maandamano mpaka baro sana and they escorted back to their homes safe and sound. Why here in Kenya? Paka no nyangwata banga the only time almost karara tumeke bunduki is when their lives are in danger. Kararo chingoli kabisa huyu ananiumiza kabisa nitakufa. Mbona wanatupa tiagas hata kabla? Wanatupa tiagas kwa watu wenye hawana chochote. Wako na bendera tu.
Mkwaroche OCS nere, I don't know whether it was Embu or
it was Embu.
Yeah. Or escort yabanto and it was very very peaceful. You know, most yes your kisi kana getu seninga kiba bataba wetense aba demonstrators na wa mwere terama kagenda tinta getigo kwana because you know egasi obosigale negasi bimu abana baitondo daite bari kororo but basigale bange mbali wangaini because inaro chano nyane clip kene nkorora abana demonstrators bande bakubarama bosengrade kibanyorete biteka birebyo so nsachinde of course very respectfully that even some of those police officers talibonsi mbale batalibangaini mbale batama I think baakora mbale batanya kolan baro chenga egasi yomusigali no kurute tiagas was no kurutalisas was no wako mondo I think abasigali maybe they are training because in tinda manyanke bakwenda baba trained kiganjo gali Nyeri. I'm suspecting that their training is just not good. We have a many, especially these low-grade officers.
You know, we were asking ourselves, mimi na Breton the other day, was it on Monday? Paka kateva tuendo kutafuta hawa maafisa wakuje watuambie wanawafundisha nini by the way kiganjo. Because you cannot open bullet ucha sabanto very peaceful. You cannot throw a tear gas, which is very peaceful.
Actually, njabete igoro kisi. Jenaro jena maisane. Because I think every getting about bago dispass abantu. Bono mbali ko manyanga eba wende da ko ba patient bali enda abana bali pakomwali. Baje the capital gali bakanyora tu abantu barosire bali nchara barosete bakirete batimogete bono barosire. Bachaga tukorute tiagas. Neno matabona kukorute tiagas.
Ndio chachisha. I realized yesterday wakili bunge ikufunguliwa. Na jana wangekuwa bungeni kuongea mambo yao. I realized they even were meshed bunge if you saw that. So it's like they were ready for this. I was thinking, if this guys goes there, they address them. But then this is what we were. Why was Parliament locked?
You know, Parliament has always been a very, very protected area until last year. Again, to Timatia Bajumbe Baluka Rangeliga was one hour, they were not last year. Eva Chiete Bakevisa Abandins, Avante Bagatama, they had a bad day. No, Yari were umbare with them. And it's good. Someone another narrow general Musubati. There was a Navy Photoshop.
I saw that.
So that, and people are saying that was just a contract. The Valley friends were contracting about supply the Bab the wires for 1 billion. Was an inking. Why was Parliament not open? About Jumbe Baria Baroche, Honorable Speaker, a Keroka Speaker, of course, Momro Bagatanga would talk at Tanya Sanchez, there was nobody but disappeared. So that the Jumbe Barum Balago Parliament, because Angabone Yabet, because some parliamentarians also support the demonstrations. And was, and I think it was intelligence yet everything. Don't try open Parliament because Bonne State House yale which was near Barota and I did in the Parliament and to lose Yavanta Vanga Magimama who lose it last year. And I think that's why.
But again, this Parliament, everything that is happening, back to Parliament, Parliament babeire bako rubber stamp anything that they're given from the executive batari kurarigereria their mandate no kurigereria by examine whatever bill ekoro executive is it favorable to our people. Parliament yaberege ko
it used as a rubber stamp na ndio wanorochomoga koyo unasoa serikali. Now Ruto has the numbers to do anything that he does. Korole no nominations, kwa IBC, omuntu na tatwara qualifications, it's almost automatic. Mwenye president omwetiri, then nerengo chale goetiwa. So that bunge is being used as a rubber stamp, purely because of political interests. Na inda wajumbe waita karobago chaga baboli na kibako eruchivesa. Kego baitie bitu. Because we have very, very few politicians, especially members of parliament. That is what happens all the time.
You saw some TV stations, 3 of them TV stations, kwamba awaruhusiwi ku live stream. It was unconstitutional. That's what CAK said. Which law is this that prohibits media houses from live streaming? Like us, we go do live streams.
You know, that was like a law.
Okay.
We have to look first of all on David Mugonyi. Okabeire was in a communication director ya Ruto for 10 years. Article 33, Article 34. And I'm so surprised in an quote.
Yeah, I put 33
and 34, which is freedom of the media. Of course, Article 33 too. Mitiere what the media can report. But they will talk of live streams. It doesn't talk of live streams. Promote war, hatred, media. And I'm so happy that media was broadcasting live those
yes, it was live.
I think mba understand it nga abantu mbache abange buna bachete so that communication was illegal. Law Society of Kenya condemned naenda bamurabali nabagusi Calvin Bosire Jose Amanwa na ubachite court bakanyore ode ntangani Katiba Institute na ronja nyorete yende naende na repetition so manarenge petition igoro marago bayari getu no mumbro Bosire Calvin. It was a very simple application. Erachita katabanga katabie judge and those were 2 different judges narugoro kumuita na Chigiti na ubaru with those orders. Erachita katabanga this guy I will quote a article that provides for freedom of the media, Sarah. Okay, and we're going to live. And I quote. It's illegal to live stream. You know, kento kapeleki nkianya kwa handonsi. Israeli na ramba teme lijuzi vale kwa but that was war. These are just demonstrations. Ngakigo chaka kogenda na inde bakagenda ose na NTV asekabwate kwelekea bakarusi. That is dictatorship and wrong censorship. Ordinary lingo file tolebina na bamura balimba ko letega singe sana because that directive came very early. I saw no nyene chi judge they didn't quote na ndo mate decision area so metu earlier na justice think Mugambi, I'm not sure ya outlaw it that similar order. So kiroko serikali itaitekote mumu ndako likalirube. You know, an order is a letter is just you know is nothing. That letter was unconstitutional. It was illegal. Na inde mbuyabona na kikwaro chelete ngachi order chiasogete almost immediately. So that no one should really stop the order. Actually, naroje application yawe getu kelimo mrole karansta sai karansta type bwangu. It wasn't lengthy, but ye kotie kaligere na inde kamanye situation that was an illegal order. Ekarue order immediately. They will suspend that communication.
Because wakili, as media houses, we have been live streaming ever since Ngakibono yalego igoko korumagega, we have been live streaming. Have we not been going against that article quote?
Musani oyo kasongo. How boete. You know, they don't know how to react. First of all, eba underestimated abantu barache town. Akego bakanyoranga your colleagues babekire, you know, babekire Kisi, Nakuru, Nyeri, Nairobi, Mombasa, Nochire, Biregali, bakakuminga what is happening. Chiri both bale konyora they are bad. One bakateba the only way maybe barateme go konye situation because ekara bana bandi baroche live. You know, they may want to rush and then so they were trying to avoid because they underestimated. But that was an illegal order, and I'm so proud of my colleagues. Bachi de bakanyora chi order kengima, so that was totally illegal. Nainde you can live stream Sarah Retire TV at any time. Kamoranje. Because we know that there are some things you can't live stream. That is what we know. That's where the limit is in Article 33. But not saying it is unconstitutional, something which is constitutional, and you want to change it. You know, Kenya Kwanza. To favor you. Kenya Kwanza mbuyari kijia sokango totebiale. No nyeno mumuruli wa nyaratalia roli geteli rubeli. Era akoli kerose ni tubioli kaguru State House. Bwate signature eva mwekera iga. Bate banga, what's happening? Tinye interview. That is what happened. And let me applaud as a media houses here Kenya, because you people have really supported Chiko's Chiaba Kenya to bring out what is happening. And no matter media live stream, what is happening? Break it into a shop because it's a chindabono. Restrain media. I want to watch the web interview late nga eduka ya Buniru nini nonyena abayibi balibono nonyena abasigari because in the morning into twaro changu muntu itiru second one karo bachite ko tema go teneni media from live streaming alito chakete ko nga muntu sirire nini nebinte kabirebe. And I'm happy from the president of KEG, Kenya Editors Guild, Musmati Kananu, stood, responded very quickly. Your president LSK, Musmati Faith, and you promised you will bring her here. Actually, yes, she'll be around on Friday and Saturday. You go, maybe on we can make arrangements. Tima was saying, I over a weekday, we can make arrangements. She'll be here between Friday and Sunday. You go organizing a bongo more Retire TV. Yes, we can have her on Saturday. I can talk to her. Yes, please. I can talk to her because she'll be going to a private function in Nyamira. Allow for you guys, but she'll be here till Sunday. You go look for me. Yeah, we will look for you because she's doing a good work. She's doing a great job. LSK. We are very, very proud of her. She doesn't keep quiet. She doesn't at all. Anything that happens, she's out. Let me tell you, not only in the public interest litigation committee, led no mumroli na kwa naga ukoro seamano. So verega manga somewhere. He'll also be here. Nereni kwende dango moleterega because nanga krete nandigeti Simeon Sunday agante nerena te go be president ya Law Society. Okay. So that nere because you know we have departments and committees. The Committee on Public Interest Litigation is led by That's nice. That's very so I have an assignment. Bring them here. Manua even this Saturday we can have a conversation. She's doing great. She's doing a great job. We are very proud of her. Right. She's a good representative of us. The families that lost their beloved ones in last year, you saw that mother, you saw a lot of parents, not even the former Justice Maraga. They were tear gassed. And
we were asking abasikali ambaro Maraga hawezi kuwa na
Maraga
chochote. Hao wazazi wanaandamana kupata haki ya watoto.
Siasa ya usiga haki. Maraga na rena lego cha kabisa na asire natebanga tali mumura. Nje nagogete sana na. Mwana naro yo mintu tokolero tokoroka matiani. Angana chitegali ekemaene. Na inde karmo ujikonyore opportunity. Mo bowling akayarenge. That is a big mistake on his part. Bono no nyamba letu ale kumo support da yota ndochi Maraga. Maraga was there. You need to stand with the people. You need to stand. Maraga Matiang'i failed big time. He failed big time. Angano arenge bosigari. Erebono na digadi wachito wakebisa. Matiang'i messed big time. Moko nyora abantu bae botebi that is not how you need to be. No nyera ira lirikale. Used to lead in the front. Or to tear gas we visa. You know, you're not going in we visa nyombo chaga go statement Marago.
So was it right for them to be a tear gas, especially parents?
Not at all. You know, naroche demonstrators bandi bautanga tunataka tear gas. You know buanzuza chile demonstrations. Kenyan style is tear gas. So for me, Maraga did a great job. We've always said in any project ya Ruto, but for me that mzee even coming out,
you know, alitangaza akasema this is what I will do if you
and for me him going to court representing that Njeri lady, him coming out Igoro is a sign of true leadership. What you know, it's a chinde this,
but maybe because he understands this law.
Of course he understands, but you can't tell me and I'm not trying to attack my brother because I really wish him well and he's my candidate. Because Maraga is not my candidate, by the way. CS Matiang'i should have come because he understands the law. He should have come out. And Maraga did a great job. You are talking about tear gassing. That is the same thing. Nabasigari wait to a poorly trained. How do you tear gas you Mugaka Bunori? Bunagari Sebarenge outside the former Serena's outside Nation Center. There was nothing. There was no risk to anything. Then you get umusigari to, you know, out of nowhere. And we need, and we'll be raising it actually, that these officers, especially those that command, we need to have those officers held responsible for what they do, because they cause a lot of harm. And tear gas effects. And some officers just as to land court. I still have the effect still now.
It is
so for me, the families, it was wrong for the officers to tear gas.
Those families seeking justice.
Those respectable people, Kalonzo, Nani, nobody. Don't just tear gas.
What about the officers now? Even the officers who were injured, they were injured by the protesters. A quite good number of police officers
naro chichi clip umuranale naro cholo wako musigari etegeas in some highway abasigari bago provoke abantu. When you look at these clips everywhere, abasigari bakonyole busaiho yani bago chaka waka
wanapita na wewe
so for me there is what we call justifiable force. People get, you know, tear gas. We've been talking here. Of course, you don't need to hit a police officer. Maybe but you know, no, it's the anger at what the police do. Because these videos are everywhere on social media.
You believe police provoke these people?
basigari tetuba abante babange tetubosaigo because of how they behave. You know nyoro musigari buno oliyo embu oliyo gotara na bawose sikyo muntu ramwake ono nyoro nga barasire barutire bintu tiagasi yabairere muntu ekabiro yo that was defense
na roche kwenye barutire chitiagas bona abana inchiko bamya kibarenge anyagwaroche clip ekyo oyo kurunde gari ya polisi aneno muskari agagzerere cyagatigo yo mwaba inse and you saw what really
they provoked people. So Sara Oliabo Atungo mo defend very successfully because he was defending himself. He did not assault the office. Omo officer ne arocha agete because omo officer ne ranyo opportunity hakomuita. So he defend kwanza ranga ngo wako yonde litangani abasacha.
Yeah, we have got like 2 minutes before we release you for your duty. And next time want to keep time like you kept time. Edwin Omanyi. And I like the way you are articulating issues and because of the state of the nation, I have generated a book titled The Youth and the Kenyan's Future. As a legal expert and an officer of the court, how would you assess the Gen Z-led protests that took place across the country on June 25th, 2025, that is yesterday, in a light of Article 37 of the Kenyan Constitution, which guarantees every citizen the right to assemble, demonstrate, picket, and petition the government peacefully? How do you assess? Ando David, do you believe that the actions taken by the state security forces, including the reported use of force and arrests, were in line with the constitutional principles, or did they infringe on the protesters' fundamental rights? Edwin Omomanyi.
Gen Z, I'm very proud of Gen Z. Inche generation ya nenche kwanza nde bosa generation X inda manyo sen Gen Z ole bosa millennium ndumba litu wa failure. I love the way Gen Zs do their things and how they articulate, they organize themselves, how brave they are. Kale sare twale ko musigari twanya gutama nakiba kunya kororanga no nyana abana baku bomnyokigo these are brave kids. To answer that, Gen Zs, I'm very proud of them. We all look up to them. We will support them. Because you know a generation comes that helps everyone. That is why we used to have revolution. So I'm very, very proud of them. It's good you've quoted Article 37, which clearly gives the Gen Zs the right to assemble, picket, and present their petitions to authorities.
But did we see them presenting the petitions? Didn't see.
Sarah, you present the petition one night. You which go at the central police station. That is why I'll say the police, and it's good that Edwin, the young man, has really,
Youth and the Kenyan's Future.
I'm very proud of that young man too, another Gen Z. That is how inquisitive Gen Zs are, going into the small details. So that for me, Abasigari, they will not give you an opportunity to present. And that is the unfortunate part. So the way that we understand, the police needs to understanding about Gen Z. Generation This is a completely different generation. That the minute you see me outside Twitter, Gen Zs don't care about the airtime you want.
They call you. There was one person who was saying I received almost 50,000 calls. So it's a generation with a wave that
we are very proud of, that are doing very well for us, even for us that were not able to fight for ourselves. And I'm happy that they are even reading the Constitution and they know what the Constitution provides them, so that I'm not even supposed to be here and start saying Article 37, 34, 33. They understand well, and even our courts, I'm so proud of them, that they were able to get that order, give that order immediately, because that was an illegal, so that all Upper Kenya, one of our Kenenge yo
kibisekanete. In fact, when you are two steps ahead, they are 10 steps ahead of you.
They are 10 steps ahead.
And they read these things.
They are leaderless.
Yes.
Other than, me saying that Matiang, because he didn't really organize the demonstrations, they were organized by the Gen Zs. Without a clear leader, and the mobilization that these people did, ever declared a public holiday. Yesterday nothing happened,
and it happened a public holiday.
so that we are proud of them.
They proved some leaders wrong. There will be no end holiday. It was.
So abasigari waito need to be enlightened. That narrally swali gali about picketing on private property, baru balende bintu batige bintu ebinge batige go attack demonstrators. Demonstrators bako bagali abasigari babaga baruta, because we've had even when Matiang'i came to Kisii, that was a form of demonstration because there were very many people in the town. It went so well. So so that if these cops are just batiga abantu then nothing will happen. Actually, they are supposed, my proposal will be, but when they go to mingo, it's assumed itwale usekende. They mingo, and I saw even Gen Zs try to have abasigari one time. When they come in a friendly manner, no one is going to hit them. And
you saw, sorry for cutting you short, Wakili, and you saw abasigari when they were being injured. Who was giving them first aid? Who was helping them?
The Gen Zs and the Red Cross now demonstrators.
The activists, yes. So they should know that they are one people, only that they are in uniform, and these people are not in uniform.
And honestly, onye abantu kibale Kenya bachandike nainde bachandire n'abasigari baitu. Because especially karo bakolera magosa, they are on their own. Noroje ondeta yoko ba defend mbabu ati no nyana abantu bagocha nainde ni ntubono bakwenda bali nkora dance tani abo tema bakonya abasigari ba watu nini they are on their own nainde orole no nyana chinyomba cyabo kimenyete when people are fighting orole their pay slips shy or whatever. These are the people as very employed. They got doctors. Musigari neremba bwati union mbaliko nyara wete. So that even the Gen Zs,
they are
speaking even on the police officers, and that is what you people need to really tell them.
All right.
Gen Zs
all right. Someone here, thank you so much, Wakili. Someone here is supporting you. Anaitwa James Mosetti. Anasema, I support my friend Wilkins Ochoki. The way he is articulating issues with experience in law, Matiang'i could have come out to solidarity with the legends' families. Nere feels the same, but maybe he has his own reasons. We just give them time.
Raila is Raila. Because he leads from the front. He leads from the front, and Matiang'i is our candidate. Let's be honest about it. Nebanga, nero montava usitori girretti, nero gocha gotobanga, atotevia stoko genda gochi, so that we need to have him take the lead. And it's good that even if we were talking about, the law and stuff, that naindu chake kwerwanda mapema because he's going to be in government. To sabenga gago jikobe president, how is he going to handle these things? Because now Navara communications director, you will have to be dealing with some of these things. It's good that he comes out forcefully, stands for these causes, and has his voice clear. Like now we don't want peace. You can those videos out. We want problems. We don't want peace.
We don't want peace. We want problems.
So that when he comes and just after people are commemorating something like this, some people have been killed, and you come and say we want peace. No one wants peace with this regime.
All right.
No one wants peace.
Your time is up, Wakili. I don't want to take more of your time. We have 4 minutes to the top of the hour. Wakili, we Gen Z, we demonstrate because of our leaders for corruption. Gen Z ameandika anasema wana demonstrate kwa sababu ya omangana yobukurumi na haraba nyaadije. Because Wakili, if you listen the demands ya Gen Z, among the very many demands, it's the cost of living tuvatagete. over taxation. I was telling my colleague Brethren Nagi, Jensia wakatai kutoa ushuru. Awasemi atutaki serikali kwa sababu inatutax. They are crying over taxation.
Over taxation. Even after over taxation, you know, even if you overtax and offer services, we are going to be grateful. But now, you know, for me, I'll just wish to tell the Gen Zs, and it's good that someone quoted the relevant article.
Yes.
They are free to demonstrate. Let them just give notice to the police officers. Even yesterday, ourselves as Law Society, and we are trying to go amongst what I'm going to do now, is follow up on whether any of genuine Gen Zs was arrested for picketing. We are offering free services to make sure the Law Society had hotlines. We are engaging and just ensuring no one is going to be arrested for coming out and picketing, so that Law Society is actually offering free services, and I can tell our people so that if anyone was arrested in Kisii or Tarasoka, be sure and to what a big team. Free services, cash bills, the next time, because in Tuntuliko Nyaransa, Chinoko Genda, street Sarah, Timadia Saiko, so that we encourage them again. They know that there are people that are supporting them, that again Tobacco is legal, but protected in a constitution. Mtu asianze kujaribu kuwatishia.
Yes. That's very nice, and congratulations to the LSK for providing free services to abantu abagabakoro because hawana wa kuwatetea. Edwin anasema kindly present my second question. Edwin anasema during the June 25th Gen Z protests, many young people wrote eulogies before attending the demonstration anticipating possible death, and even specifying which family member should receive the 2 million reportedly given by the state to victims' families. From a legal perspective, do you believe that offering such compensation is a meaningful or constitutional response to a loss of life, especially in the deaths results from state action? Does monetary compensation like this fulfill any legal or moral obligation under the Constitution, or does it instead reflect a failure for justice and accountability?
You know, the 2 million is a private donation that was given. President and I saw people say, oh, demonstration in the hope. You know, even those Gen Zs that died last year, they have not been compensated. And amongst those agreements that were made, and Raila was saying, was compensation of Gen Z's family. Ordinarily, the law never compute compensation for anyone. Like now, if it's Sarah Ontita, you know, where you work, what you earn, whether you are married or not, the law provides for computation, such deaths, so that these are people that need to, because unlike the Mau suits, you know, Kenya family in the Shuanga, the state cannot compensate, because in such serikali will give promises and say that they are going to compensate, but they never compensate. What needs to happen is you need to file a suit against the government or against the court, because that was a wrongful death. Human Rights, Kenya Human Rights Commission, and these other human rights bodies have documented those things. You go to court, file a suit, on your judgment, and 2 million is, you know, you can't really give money to but the government needs to be held to account. And you know, Ochoki Kenya law ebine binge sana byaitire asa abantu bako ba compensated for such deaths. So that when wensi ukora suboso komizwa n'umusigari nabwate haki onyoko kumanya umusigari oyo moswere usoswere attorney general emechande go chiyaba is payment because noroche iyo ni kama pending bill okonyore judgment na ndo wacha go execute you will need to seek a warrant of arrest against the PS interior security pamanya go chawo wakanaka but it's good ba file yebina. I hope I'm answering that question. Ba file yebina banyore ekoti award best on Monte Garcia okora emyaka erengale na indenga kiasirete like after how long never take a review. Those are the kind of things that the court will look at, award, then you follow up on the judgment. 2 million ine yabana siasa
the personal donation
and na gocheri komondi au kolega asiye ya
sisi kwa sisi. Thank you so much wakili. We need to find the time so that we talk twakora chinsa chirichiganire because people are really following you. CDE Masominya Kunde anasema following the chairman of lawyers. Wakili Wilkins Ochoki is an orator and very sharp. Nyamira has a son. Enidi Mongina anasema wakili vyake hima we are following. Abiudo Ombati anasema say hi to Wakili Wilkins Ochoki. Abiudo Ombati tena anasema ask Wakili, do they have plans to meet with Matiang'i and give way forward now that hajaelewa Kenya lazima tuandamane ndio tukujue.
Tunapiga story ya Matiang'i.
Tunapiga story ya Matiang'i
Piketing tuarenge.
Is a topic of its own.
Because he's our candidate. Tomotebi areme kuna rigiji. Ara inject yake hiyo. Ngenge kanga inject.
Wakili.
Atiko kwa watudi.
Yote 9. 10. Alafu uondoke. What should president do? Because it is evident ameelewa the trend kwamba watu wamechoka and as for me I believe if he says something and does it I think it will work. Any message to him?
Atiwa bokora number 1 aseme na kutenda because you know when you look at the internet even on those things and if you elect us in 2017 we will have free secondary education, free university education. The problem with him is he talks big but he doesn't deliver. That is why Kero Montage Chirinere. You know, no kunyagotevanga, I will do this, and that is why there is a lot of anger. All these projects they don't lead to anything. Bigo konyo monto on the ground because into no tolenkaga oneganya mataro na rurega. You know, abantu generally there is no money. Besanchio Sara. Even in Kisi gali rikalengwe ukwalenge no nyenko runka. You know no nyena abantu bali bakogenda ba bera ke gongo ukwalenge no nyene binanda bichi disco ko buka kurukisi. Those things are not there. And the he needs to listen to the concerns because yabana bamba wate very genuine concerns and you don't fight dissent by trying to break the law. Otebe ngabonongoli miole live transmissions ngabonongora sora abantu bakwe naroche hashtag yale trending a series in numbers because now if there are numbers then it is nothing he will do. He will get out of state house. So he needs to listen to the people. Atige ko imagining he's always right. Na banta babaye advisors baya bamuraba baya baranere batige ko tware kiburi batige ko ramabanto batige ko koraki even for us the lawyers groups into what these colleagues of ours were support including members of parliament some of them okonyoro mutagotanga sasa mtafanya nini? What will you do?
Serikali ni sisi.
Hiyo ni kiburi ndogo. Serikali ni sisi tumempea. So my advice to the president is let him follow the law. He doesn't need to kill anyone to power. Let him keep his promises. Never interview kwenye ukwana. You know, nimefanya. Let them trickle down to the people so that betaya TV ga useno nyenkisi ga chibesa abantu batwale chibeso mabu.
Abantu barorekane babuate besa. Okorere Kibaraza is my husband. is really watching us.
Yes.
Amesema no one fights for the police. You know he's a police officer. Anasema no one fights for the police. No regime is interested in men in uniform. No Kenyan is interested. So police are on their own.
Not at all, but Gen Z is fighting for him.
Yeah.
Gen Z wanakupigania.
Wanakupigania.
Eric, but you know abasigari barobo in a very tight spot because nabataka wako, you know, mbago soka na barobo bachaga go join demonstrators. Nabano wazu soka very deployed for the station. So Gen Z are fighting for him and for them. It's unfortunate abasigari bari gotia gas maraga na cheda ka nominated na bwata recommendation chingi ya sana about ki housing yabo allowances yabo na kile because imba moeta mamlaka timatingi bago motia gas have you ever had wakili conference ya police since independence at the conference ya police na wao waende because you are our brothers and sisters. You know abasigari na abantu baitu. Yes. My brother and cousins. Police officers. You know, but nyore opportunity yo mwana mintara so egasi yo basigari I'll really fight. So egasi yo basigari, so we are very proud of what you do. But is a chine tutaitiko barama na inumwa atirichika kego. I know you work under very difficult circumstances. Ni inumokuruane ruwono na Gen Z into 2SP. Alright. Naro mwirani ili akuriko Felicia Satande Mataviringa. Sasa vumilia. Thank you so much. Yao ndio elect kasongo pia. Vumilie. Wasema batige wako orders chirichimbe. Let them not obey them. Let them not obey them. Let them, you know, just be good to the people that are demonstrating. Thank you very much. So many chiko. Unabona yoro mwakili pate umugakati huko wochiga. Yes. I look for him. He's my friend na mkwani. Yeah, he's your friend and really loves what you do. Ana karoto mwete yora. Pero kwenda tarara. Mama gani no wale gari au taenda ngo ofisi ya wakili Tairanga. Thank you so much. Thanks Eric Baraza and thanks everyone else. Bali mwatulikere chujumbe ya Babudo Edwin Momanyi. It is 9 minutes past the hour. Tota kirogo kwa condot but tumena dakika 9 tusamee sana. We think next time we will work a bit harder. But thank you very much Wakili. Thank you very much Sarah for hosting me. Always a pleasure being here. Thank you very much. So Saturday I'm expecting LSK president here. We will arrange that. I will make sure that she comes or at least we get to sit over a cup of tea or coffee. Okay, thank you very much. Muligereria kwa niaba ya mzee wa kazi of course ngwira na torenere twatangani wakili aracha because abatemeroberie menge egera tubanya kuirana na ende tubanya kwa analyze make ali atotebiri togenderera magazeti wakambia mono was just the tallest guy na Frank Mayungore ngasesema ye camera of course just kwa transmission na yo mwanchu buligereria mbia mono asogo toligereria yote 9 10 ni wakili otebiri aba serikali nga kamoranje bwati alichiko abanyanyimbo bwati alichiko demonstrators anakubali kwamba anaunga mkono maandamano yale ya ukweli na haki atavire bwati alichiko against manyako baboronge wikachinga kichinde naende asa karanje we will have him again next time. Until then twarubuligereria baro byako ntosuka kwira na tole naende asegekegeke ketalibusyo usekiribusyo.
Etaya TV Oborabu Wagusi.